All right, welcome back. I hope you're having an amazing time so far. Our next speaker is Dr. Mahendra Samaravikrama. He is a senior manager, data science and analytics at the Australian Red Cross. Please join me in welcoming him to our virtual stage.
Thank you, Patrika. Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Mahendra Samaravikram from Australian Red Cross. Australian Red Cross is a member of the International Red Cross and Red Crescent movement. I'm delighted to address this industry's leading AI4 summit regarding good governance and ethics of AI for sustainability. In this speech, I will present our innovative framework for AI governance, which has been designed for ensuring diversity, equity, inclusion, and social justice in AI. So while you are listening to this presentation, please think about how you can be part of this humanitarian movement. First of all, in the spirit of reconciliation, the Australian Red Cross acknowledges the traditional custodians of the country throughout Australia and their connection to land, sea, community. We pay our respect to their elders, past and present, and extended that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people today. The overview of this presentation is, first, we will introduce the Red Cross and its purpose. Then we will discuss the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals and how AI is beneficial for sustainability. Next, we will discuss the risks of AI getting failed, which will fail achieving the expected outcomes. As a solution, we will focus on how people, culture, and mission can be strengthened with AI governance and ethics for sustainability of AI. Afterward, we will discuss the Red Cross 7 fundamental principles as a framework for driving AI ethics. Further, we will discuss the Red Cross mission and how that mission can mitigate AI risks and enhance benefits. Next, we will present our innovative wind turbine conceptual model of AI governance inspired by our 7 fundamental principles. Afterward, we discuss how that AI governance model can transform AI for humanity. Finally, we will present a success story as a case study. The Red Cross mission is to prevent or reduce human suffering wherever it's found. We are guided by our 7 fundamental principles, which are humanity, unity, universality, neutrality, impartiality, independence, and volunteer service. We are the world's largest humanitarian movement operating in over 190 countries. We have over 17 million volunteers worldwide. We play an auxiliary role to the government, recognized as a reliable partner for mobilizing the power of humanity. The United Nations have identified 17 broad and interdependent goals in 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. It is expected of all countries and stakeholders acting in collaborative partnership to achieve these goals. The Red Cross is focusing on those goals as they are also aligning in humanity and humanitarian perspective. It is predicted that AI can contribute as much as 15.7 trillion to the world economy by 2030. These UN Sustainable Development Goals are also planned to achieve by 2030 in the areas critically important for humanity and the planet. As per Nature's research, AI could help achieving 79% of Sustainable Development Goals. Therefore, addressing these goals are very important in consequentialism perspective of AI ethics. In the previous slide, we discussed how AI can contribute to sustainability. In this slide, we discuss sustainability of AI. Research found from now until the year 2020, 85% of AI projects fail due to bias in data, algorithm, or the teams responsible for managing them. Further, there may be emerging AI risks for humanity such as autonomous weapons, automation-related job loss, socio-economic inequality, bias caused by data and algorithms, privacy violations, and deep fake. These risks are fundamentally caused by unethical AI governance. They hinder achieving sustainable development goals we discussed before. Therefore, addressing these AI governance issues is very important in utilitarianism perspective of AI ethics. We discussed how AI for sustainability and sustainability of AI are underpinned by AI ethics referring to consequentialism and utilitarianism perspectives. To make sure AI for social justice programs serve the purpose of serving humanity and sustainability, it is important to mitigating the human biases in decision making. In order to minimize bias for enhancing social justice, it is required to bring social diversity, equity, and inclusion to people, culture, and mission of the organization. Only then we can achieve utilitarianism and consequentialism perspectives of human ethics, which can underpin the AI ethics for serving humanity and sustainability. From the corporate governance and management perspectives, the leaders should orchestrate culture, people, and mission toward humanity and sustainability. The diagram here illustrates how the synergy between corporate culture, people, and mission can drive AI ethics towards sustainable AI and sustainable goals. The Red Cross believes that AI governance and ethics should be underpinned by human ethics. In this perspective, the Red Cross 7 fundamental principles create an efficient ethical framework for serving humanity in the last 150 years. These principles guide humans to make unbiased decisions for humanity and sustainability. Therefore, without losing generality, we can adopt our 7 fundamental principles for good AI governance. As stated before, they are humanity, impartiality, neutrality, independence, unity, universality, and volunteer service. Humanity can drive AI as a good cause for achieving social justice. Impartiality can make AI process unbiased. Neutrality enables us to drive AI initiatives with diversity. Independence enables inclusion of social diversity. Unity enables social equity. Universality enables us to work internationally in a global context. Volunteering enables us to enhance our capacity and resources in AI transformation. Altogether, these 7 fundamental principles enable driving AI for social justice. This slide illustrates our mission towards sustainable AI for sustainability as an optimization problem. The Red Cross mission is to prevent or reduce human suffering where it is found. In relation to consequentialism, we want to enhance social justice by mitigating AI risks and driving AI benefits for sustainability. On the other hand, from the utilitarianism perspective, we want to incorporate people, culture, and mission in AI development and value creation process. With the 7 fundamental principles, we can ensure relevant social diversity, equity, and inclusion in AI governance. Now we present our wind turbine conceptualized model to illustrate how Red Cross can support good governance of AI for sustainability. A conceptualized model is something like an hourglass model or iceberg model where we map the context into a simple object or system for easy understanding. In our case, we mapped our solution into a wind turbine system. We know AI is the new electricity. What we want to achieve is sustainable electricity as it produced by a wind turbine. We don't want to unsustainable methods like burning fossil fuels to drive the turbine shaft or generator. In this perspective, this model always directs us to humanitarian needs, risks, and human suffering. This process is guided by the Red Cross leadership and guidelines as the tail directs the wind turbine to the directions of wind, which it is sensitive to. The front face multi-blade rotor represents the 7 fundamental principles which ethically and efficiently address human needs, risks, and suffering. The wheels in the gearbox represent our community, partners, volunteers, who are continually helping us with this great cause with resources. Finally, the generator represents our data and AI capabilities, which we drive for AI for transformation. Through this process, we can ensure social diversity, equity, inclusion, and justice. In this slide, we are going to discuss how the Red Cross transform AI with the discussed model. In the left-hand side, we present how our data initiatives increase diversity, equity, inclusion within data science and AI. At the foundation, we have good IT and data governance capabilities ensuring data privacy, security, and compliance. On the top of data governance, we have data science and AI capabilities with social diversity, equity, and inclusion. As examples, we have good citizen scientist projects aligning with digital innovation and transformation, a strong volunteer data science team, and AI for good partnership projects. Further, we have data science platform, which can incorporate skilled human resources to drive social justice in AI. These human resources can be from Red Cross, as citizen scientists, volunteers, or partners. To ensure social justice in AI, our innovations expand into sustainable projects like mitigating risks in climate change, First Nations peoples, vulnerable migrants, international humanitarian law, and AI for good humanitarian projects. Ultimately, at the top, we want to ensure sustainable AI for sustainability. The same strategy illustrated by the right-hand diagram, elaborating our focus in AI transformation. As shown in the diagram, we want to drive sustainable AI for sustainability as a core value. Our focus in AI ethics and social justice is that we empower community, volunteers, and partners for collaboration. We want to achieve diversity, equity, and inclusion. We drive all our AI initiatives, keeping those communities at the heart of the design. Now we are going to share a success story which brought partnership, volunteering, citizen scientists, and technologies to drive social justice in AI innovation and transformation. In this partnership project with the University of New South Wales Business School, we drove two sustainability and humanitarian projects such that, first one, we deploy First Nations people as citizen scientists to mitigate their risks related to climate change. We wanted to bring technology equity to First Nations peoples in the climate change perspective. The second project is to explore how emerging technologies like AI and augmented reality can be adapted to enhance situational awareness in international humanitarian law applications. The Red Cross is the guardian of the international humanitarian law in the Geneva Convention, where we want to explore emerging AI capabilities to save lives in conflicts. Let's listen to the reflection of the students who participated in these two projects.
Health workers in hospitals have been subject to routine targeted attacks. As a result, many organizations have removed their names and emblems from project sites and vehicles. Our project aims to improve awareness of these Red Cross buildings, workers' vehicles, which may have their emblems hidden, to militaries and peacekeeping coalitions.
So my team has chosen to address the problem of the protective power of the Red Cross, Crescent, and Crystal being reduced for a number of reasons. We've chosen to solve some issues which have occurred during conflict. These include a loss of trust in the symbol due to intentional misuse by non-Red Cross personnel.
Our project aims to monitor the effects of climate change on Indigenous communities regarding their health, heritage, and lifestyle values in order to sustain and preserve their culture, whilst also bringing awareness to climate change and the community group themselves.
And the reason we're doing this is there is an abundance or a lack thereof of effective monitoring solutions. And what's happening is it's blurring our vision and our understanding of how the environment is impacting them.
So our team proposes the equipment of soldiers with AR eyeglasses that display virtual Red Cross, Red Crescent emblems above Red Cross facilities, workers, and vehicles. Soldiers will be able to see information about the location, its proximity, and potentially supplies needed, allowing them to better protect Red Cross workers.
Our solution to these issues is a mobile application which anyone can download. A civilian or militant can log into the app to see a map with markers that indicate where Red Cross stations are around you. Official Red Cross staff will create these markers, and therefore they can be relied upon. You can select a marker to reveal information page about the site. We expect that having information about these kinds of resources and what is available at these Red Cross locations and what is not will increase user activity in the app, allowing us to push them information about the Red Cross's mission, therefore increasing familiarity and trust with it.
Our solution is to create a mobile application that allows individuals to make entries related to the specific climate change implication that they have observed, and then also to comment on the effects they believe that this implication can have on their community, their cultural heritage, and the environment around them. To promote engagement, we propose to implement a reward system. The rewards will be linked to local Indigenous businesses promoting cultural awareness.
Working with these kind of important organizations really brings the emphasis on what kind of problems we can solve today and that we really make a difference.
The benefit of working with a real problem, with a real mentor, Mahendra in our case, is like you get actual feedback, and it's a lot more, I suppose, confidence building.
This project has given me the opportunity to make a valuable contribution to a project that I am genuinely interested in, and a project which I know has the potential to improve the lives of everyday Australians and also the world at a greater capacity.
It's more personal to us than just, I'm getting a preset scenario from a textbook, like Vincent has said earlier. And because it's so personal to us and because we can actually relate to it, it allows us to, have a more personal connection. It allows us to really, get the creative juices flowing so we can make the best projects possible.
Finally, we would like to present a whiteboard animation as a summary of this presentation.
Artificial intelligence is the new electricity. To make AI sustainable, the focus on people, processes, and outcomes are important. AI could help to achieve 79% of the United Nations 17 Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs. The Red Cross 7 fundamental principles can enhance social diversity, equity, and inclusion in AI development. They are humanity, impartiality, neutrality, independence, unity, universality, and voluntary service. These two foundations can be unified to strengthen the mission driving AI for sustainability. The Red Cross Innovative Wind Turbine conceptualized model illustrates a collaborative framework for the good governance of AI for sustainability. It drives the mission towards social justice. Its process is guided by Red Cross personnel. The front-faced multi-blade rotor represents the 7 fundamental principles that address AI ethics. The wheels in the gearbox represent the diversified community, volunteers, and partners who are continually helping in this great course with skills and resources. The generator represents the data and AI capabilities that drive AI transformation. As illustrated in the model, the Red Cross IT and data governance capabilities ensure data privacy, security, and compliance. Data science and AI capabilities promote social diversity, equity, and inclusion. This includes citizen scientists, volunteer data scientists, and AI4Good partnerships. The data science tools, platforms, and processes empower skilled human resources, including staff, citizen scientists, volunteers, and partners. The AI projects focus on sustainable development goals, such as climate change, First Nations peoples, vulnerable migrants, international humanitarian law, and AI for good. Ultimately, we all can drive sustainable AI for humanity and sustainability.
Thank you for participating in this presentation.
Wow, Dr. Mahendra, thank you so much for sharing with us. This has been amazing, and I know this virtual audience is giving you a huge virtual round of applause. That was awesome. All
you very
right,
much.
for the audience, it's time for you to make your way to your next session. Along the way, make sure you accept your connection request and take some time to check out our amazing exhibits. Thanks so much, and we'll see you around.